Are you working really hard in your career, putting in the midnight oil, being the first one in the office, the last one to leave? And whilst you're creating all this amazing success, you're not feeling really happy? If so, this week's episode is for you. I'm speaking to those women who are the worker bees, the ones who work really hard, put in the effort, are committed, dedicated, and showing up, yet feeling burnt out, exhausted, and really run down at the end of the day. I'm really passionate about this topic because this is something that I tend to do. This is something that has been my operating system for a really long time. And when I was working in corporate, in each of my jobs, I did this. I worked really hard and found myself creating really amazing things for myself, the promotions and the job titles and the salary, etc. But wasn't feeling very fulfilled on the inside, wasn't feeling very happy. And I look back on that time now and I realize that the working hard was actually a tool to numb myself from really feeling and expressing some of those feelings that I knew within my heart and numbing them so that I didn't have to feel them and armoring up against them so I didn't have to feel them so much. It was so easy to fall into that old familiar routine of working hard to achieve quote unquote success as a way to numb down what my heart was trying to guide me to, what my heart was telling me was the right next step. And I'll be honest with you, when I transitioned into eventually starting my coaching business, for those of you who've been following me, you know that I made loads of mistakes along the way. But when I discovered this work that I'm doing in terms of coaching, and it's continually evolving since I first started 4 years ago, I created that same thing for myself. I continued to work hard. I continued to numb out. I continued to armor myself so that I wouldn't have to feel those feelings, which, to my mind would be setting me off track and taking me a step back, but were really guiding me to align back to my highest path and purpose and what I'm really here to do. So if you're listening to this and you resonate with this and you know that you're working hard and you're achieving success, but inside there's something that's calling you, that is igniting you and exciting you, but you're just squashing it down, I invite you to actually give yourself permission to slow down. The thing with our society and our culture is that we believe that working hard, putting in lots of hours at the office, burning the midnight oil is like something to wear as a badge of honor. Particularly in Hong Kong, where I'm from, I know that working long hours is something that people, would talk about, like, wow, you're at the office so late. Wow, what are you doing here on a Saturday or Sunday? And it's like, yeah, kind of like, yeah, go me. And it was like always like a positive affirmation that the person was working hard. And I know this is the truth in many other countries, in the States, the UK, and some parts of Australia as well, with the clients I work with, where it can feel like, yes, working hard is a badge of honor. Yet, if you're listening to this, you're working really hard and it isn't fulfilling you, and you think, oh yeah, I'm numbing out, I'm armoring up against these feelings, I don't want to feel what's really going on because it's scaring me. If I acknowledge them and I admit them, then I can't go back and I've got to do something about them. I freaking hear you. It's not easy. Listening to your heart and actually giving those feelings and those emotions some airspace can be so uncomfortable, because once you acknowledge them, you have to do something about them and you can't stick your head in the sand anymore. And what I'm saying this week is that you don't have to quit your job. You don't have to start a business. You don't have to go and become an author or do whatever it is that your heart is calling you to do. All you need to do is just listen and give yourself a moment to take a bit of space, hear what's really going on, and from there take your next step. So your tangible homework this week is to take 5 minutes out during this week for yourself. And I invite you to open up a journal, fresh piece of paper, and write down everything, absolutely everything that is on your heart, on your mind, around where you're going and what you're doing. And just give yourself permission to open up honestly about where you're going. And if you're stuck, please refer to last week's blog post and the video, which I'll link here, to guide you on how do you journal, how do you start to build this dialogue with your heart and allow yourself the airspace to connect with the real you. And I'll tell you, when you're able to do this, it's the most rewarding journey you will ever take. Yes, it's a challenge to look at your issues, look at your challenges, look at your problems. But when you can identify what's really going on, it's such an empowering experience. And you can then go out and create the life that you love. So for me, this pattern was something that I had in corporate, and it continued with me into my business. And as I've learned to really listen to my heart and give that some airspace and evolve with it, life has become a lot easier. I'm doing more of the work I really love. It's becoming more joyful. I'm finding more flow. And that's what I really want for you. So that's your homework for this week. 5 minutes to journal. Give yourself permission to stop the armoring, stop the numbing, and listen to what your heart is telling you. Have a beautiful week.